Want me to send him the link?
And bam, we are green, so we ought to be. Uh-oh, nope. Wait a minute. Are you sure you want to do this? No, I don't. I actually clicked exit. I didn't want to do that. We're already live right now. Let me just make sure. You can, if you
I'll
want to,
send
yeah,
the link.
if you want to send Gandalf the link right now, that's fine. Otherwise, save me the time to do it. I'm going to go and make sure that we're live on my channel and give everybody a minute to filter in. Yep, we're live. One person watching. I don't know who's here. We're live on my channel and give everybody. I want to. I don't know who's here right now, but I want to give a few people a chance to filter in and all that good stuff. And if you want to fire up your OBS and do like a simulcast on your channel as we speak, I'm totally cool with that. I don't care.
I'll probably just restream it later, just because if I wanted to set up OBS, it would take a bunch of time. Unfortunately, I am subscribed to you, and
Did you say unfortunately?
well, it would just take too much work
Did
for
you
me
say
to.
unfortunately you're subscribed to me?
No, I said unfortunately it would take too much effort for me to set up OBS. What I said is I am subscribed to you, and for some reason the notification's not coming up that you're live. So I'll share this on Twitter real quick, maybe get some more people to come in.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to run to the restroom real fast. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. You can Twitter out whatever you need to. And two people. All right, so people are starting to see that I'm live. This is totally unannounced, and so we'll just give a few minutes for people to filter in before we kick this off. And I'll be back in about 30 seconds. So say hello, everybody. There's like 3 or 4 people watching. They're coming in. I'll be back in a couple seconds.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen, also known as Church of Entropy, one of the most hated people on the internet. So Rufus and I had a bit of a shit stream yesterday, which started out okay, but as time went on, it basically got worse. I think it was partly just because of how many people were on the channel. And I've noticed that when it gets up to like, I would say even more than 6 people, unless they're all very dedicated, harmonious, studious people, is going to turn into some version of a complete shit show, unfortunately. It's just sort of how it is. And I think it's maybe because I think it's a minority of people who actually go on these shows to learn stuff, because it seems like the main reason people do this stuff is just basically like socializing. And the next main reason people do this stuff is because they want to basically blow off steam, so they don't feel like they can express themselves to the full extent of what they'd like to express themselves in their real lives. So they kind of take on this e-persona that allows them to kind of channel that aggression that their regular lives, there's just basically no room in their regular life for them to act in that manner. And so a lot of times, especially with anonymous people, they kind of come off as quite just like maybe sort of, I don't want to say psychotic, but they behave in a way that you wouldn't see IRL normally. And people do tend to have some amount of decorum IRL that in a lot of cases in these, streaming culture, you don't see it as much. And so it's a bit shocking for me, because I've never been anonymous online, to deal with anonymous people who are behaving in such a way that there's really no parallel for that. Who are actually here because
I was actually talking with Domingo the other day about this exact thing that you're bringing up, that we as a culture, as a society, are in uncharted territory with this streaming, this
ability to communicate with strangers around the globe in an anonymous way. And if you remember how the internet began, when people, maybe you've noticed what I'm noticing, but when the internet was first, a thing, and people were able to comment and react to each other and react to each other's comments, people were harsh as hell. And there's been somewhat of a pullback. Everybody has sort of grown up a little bit and realized that you're going to be called out for, logical fallacies, ad hominem attacks. You're going to be called out for being a dumbass with no evidence and that kind of thing. Hey, Gandalf. So we're growing slowly, and it's uncharted territory. And this idea that we're all out here somewhat anonymous. Some people, myself, I'll show my face, and everybody knows my first name, so I'm not entirely anonymous. But I keep my personals to myself. But we're still in sort of an uncharted territory where we're all trying to interact with each other. And if you, like I said, when you remember in the early days, people were just harsh as hell, like super, super harsh. It was like people just unleashed on each other because it was totally anonymous, and you could just say, "You're a dumbass, you're fucking stupid," and the comment sections were just crazy. And now they seem to have calmed down and become a little bit more adult. Do you guys agree with that?
That is it's not alright. There's probably either the remains of the fortune or the remains of the ship.
Right.
Right. We know that Columbus did have cannons on Santa Maria, right?
Yes, he left some cannons behind. At least he would have at least one.
Right.
When he returned on the second voyage, he's out here in the bay trying to, the people left back at Navidad. They fired a cannon from the Luna. They were expecting a reply. They came back and replied everything. And then he had suspected something had happened when the people left behind.
So what do you think? Could we be looking at some cannons from the Santa Maria?
No, I would say that they probably left behind a small cannon. They would have left anything this big.
I would say this is the name.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is huge. The cannons is so large, the Santa Maria, but it is likely from the Spanish War. Established here after Columbus' second voyage, its remains totally unexcavated, sinking in the mud.
it's history,
Though it may not be from that fort, it is part of the history of solace. This is probably just the tip of the iceberg.
Sure. They might find quite a few things around here, valuable things from the history of Jamie.
It's just incredible to think that you come to a place like this, and you can actually come upon something that is still sitting where it was left. Thank you very much, Missy.
Well, like I was saying to you privately in the Hangout chat, I don't really do ad hominems. They get under my skin, and I get a little bit triggered. I would rather be personally insulted, which I find easier to deal with than an actual ad hominem, because I'm not here to be a schoolyard screaming match where we're talking to each other like we're eighth graders and we're just screaming and yelling obscenities. And ad hom is, where you use, in my case, as I've openly acknowledged that I have, that bloodline, the Jewish bloodline, and I have nothing to do with the Jewish culture. I don't speak a word for anybody who doesn't understand or doesn't know or never heard me say it. I'll just say it again. I don't speak a damn word of Hebrew, never once held a Torah in my hand, never once even walked into a synagogue. But when someone attacks me because of my bloodline, that I've openly acknowledged, if you want to use that as an argument against my argument or a reason to discredit my argument, this is where I have a real problem. And I misinterpreted what you said the other day, Jen, and it's my fault. I misinterpreted what you said as being somewhat anti-Semitic, but just for the record, I abhor everything about Judaism, the religion of Judaism, the state of Israel, the government of Israel. I abhor and deny and denounce everything about that stuff. But it's weird because I feel strange when someone And I've talked to white nationalists recently, and I've been accused of having false arguments simply because I have mud blood. I have blood in my veins that they don't like. So that's the kind of thing that really bothers me. So if you have a problem with my argument, go after my argument. I'm willing to engage. But that's just, I don't know. It really gets under my skin when someone wants to discredit my argument because they think my bloodline has something to do with it. You know what I mean? I would rather be personally attacked and personally insulted. That I can deal with a lot easier. Let me see. My audio is broke, Rufus. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. All I can do is stop and restart. I can try again. It did break up. I pulled my mic out by accident. I plugged it back in, so I can try and restart OBS, and it should not interrupt the stream. So I'll do that now, and we'll see if that fixes the problem. So everybody, give me just a few seconds. Bob says I'm all distorted. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to kill the stream, and I'll restart. Okay, OBS has restarted. Everybody, please give me some feedback in the chat. Tell me if the audio has improved. There was an issue during this conversation where I accidentally unplugged my headset and I had to plug it back in mid-conversation. Maybe that had... You're saying it's still bad? So, okay, so on your end, my audio is bad? Well, okay, I can only listen to... Please, honey, mute the TV, please. Thank you. Use the other remote. It's confusing. I can only hear one at a time, so let me just... Oh, I hear it. Yeah, that's bad. Okay, I'll tell you what. Shut it down, Colt Bear. All right. You guys, come back in a minute. We're going to try to fix the audio issue. I don't know what the problem is. All right. Well, I'm going to shut OBS completely down. I'm going to restart OBS. I'm going to unplug and replug my headset. And if that doesn't fix it, then what we'll do is Jen will stream, and then I will do a simulcast on. If I can, I'll start OBS and I'll stream what she does. So we'll do it that way. So Jen, I'll call you back on Hangouts in a second. I'm going to shut everything down. Call you right back. Okay, everybody, come back in a minute.